I sit here, frozen in terror, too scared to move. It's here with me. I see it in the reflection, just out of sight, always vanishing the moment I try to face it. I don't know what it is, or who. All I know is that it's getting closer. Its whispers are low, venomous threats curling around my ears. I need to leave. But how can I escape something I can't even see? It all started innocently enough, a desperate need to reconnect with nature. My dad and I used to hunt in Michigan, weaving memories between the trees of the UP and the rolling hills of northeastern Michigan. After he and my mom passed, the woods felt like the only place where I could feel close to him again. 3 years after his death, I finally managed to carve out a week for myself. November 15th, opening day of deer season, I packed my dad's old Marlin 3030, my dog Maisie, and headed to Huron National Forest. Clara, my girlfriend, wasn't thrilled about the trip. The night before I left, she muttered in her sleep, "You're going to die out there." When I woke her and told her, she admitted to a nightmare about a bear attacking me. I brushed it off. Black bears are timid, scavenging creatures. But her words left a mark, one I wish I hadn't ignored. The first campsite was unsettling. Maisie, my usually fearless pit bull mix, whined and stared downhill at an eerie lean-to. Something about it felt wrong, so I left. The second site, perched on a dry hill, felt safer. I thought I'd dodged the strange tension of the woods. I was wrong. That first night, as I sat by the fire roasting marshmallows, Maisie stayed alert, growling at every noise. Just beyond the firelight, a twig snapped. My heart jolted. I whipped my head around and thought I saw something, someone, but it vanished. Just shadows, I told myself. But my gut churned with unease. The following days were no better. Each trip into the woods felt heavier, like the trees pressed closer with each passing hour. On day 5, I finally bagged the buck of my dreams, a massive 12-pointer. As I field-dressed it, I saw it again. A fleeting shadow, man-like, but wrong. Too fast, too fluid. It darted through the trees, disappearing before I could focus. By then I knew I wasn't alone. Whatever it was following me, watching. I packed up and left, driving home with every nerve on edge. Every cluster of trees seemed to harbor a figure. Every shadow stretched toward me. When I got home, I barricaded myself inside. Windows covered, guns loaded, I called Clara. I begged her to stay away. She protested, but I hung up. I couldn't risk her getting dragged into this nightmare. That first night home, it came closer. I heard whispers outside the bedroom window. "You stole from me." It scratched at the siding, claws dragging against vinyl. But when I flung open the blinds, there was nothing. No footprints, no damage, just silence. The next night, the whispers returned, louder, angrier. My doors rattled as though someone or something was testing them. Maisie growled and barked until her voice was hoarse. I barely slept, clutching my shotgun and jumping at every creak. And then Clara came back. The front door creaked open, shattering the tension. "Barrett?" Her voice rang out, shaky and confused. "What the heck is going on?" I pointed my gun at the noise, ready to fire. When my flashlight illuminated her face, I nearly broke down in relief. She'd ignored my warnings and come to check on me. I told her everything, every horrifying detail. She didn't believe me. How could she? But she stayed, cooking dinner and holding my trembling hands. That night, after she fell asleep, I returned the deer meat and antlers to the porch. I thought maybe that's what it wanted. Maybe it would leave me alone. But it didn't. I woke up at the kitchen table, face down on my laptop. Clara had forgotten to lock the front door. I felt hands on my shoulders, massaging them gently. I sighed in relief. "Clara," I murmured, "thanks for staying." But then I heard it. From the bedroom came her unmistakable snores. I froze. Slowly I turned toward the kitchen window. My heart stopped. Maisie was sprawled on the table, her body split open, her head resting beside her like some macabre trophy. The buck's head was there too, staring at me with lifeless eyes. And in their reflections, I saw it. That thing, gaunt, twisted and grinning, just behind me.